Hi everyone, it's Jakey again, back for part 3 of my Empyrean Armor Plus 2 guide with all the remaining jobs. So first up we have Beast. The body, you've got the Augment's Killer effect. This is actually a very strong effect that Beastmaster can very often take advantage of. It effectively converts half of their killer towards the mob. They have to be fighting something that they can get killer against, which they usually can with Beastmaster. Uh, and so as long as they can convert about half of that into a damage multiplier. I believe it also gives them DT. Anyways, very strong. Uh, would love to see some better stats on this piece. It gets used regardless, even at its current stat line, so expect that to be good. The hands, obviously, you've got the TP bonus there. Give them some extra pet stats, especially, and that's going to be something to look forward to. The legs, you've got Stout Servant, which is basically DT for your pet. I remember there was some funny business about how exactly it got calculated in, but uh, anyways, pets can get more DT than players can, so it's always important to keep track of what's the best pet DT set you can put together. It definitely comes in handy. Uh, and finally, we have the feet. Spur gives your pet store TP, and you've got some double attack on those feet, so would not be shocked if they did something good. The head, uh, I don't know what they would do with the head. Okay, so here's what Beastmaster got. The head, they gave him DT. Unless you're desperate for DT, I don't see a use case for this. The body, oh, good. Weapon skill damage with the killer effect. That's going to be really, really good in a lot of scenarios. Uh, I don't know that it's going to be good enough to use when the killer effect isn't working, but uh, when you can make the killer effect work, having the weapon skill damage on top of that is just going to be crazy strong. So uh, that's pretty nice. The hands, they added DT to them, but that's fine. You got extra TP bonus, and that's really all you need from these. And they added the pet stats as well. That's also actually pretty important. So, uh, yeah, that looks great. Uh, legs, a little bit more stout servant, and they gave you DT to go with it. Given that you now have to be next to your pet to do the abilities, it's pretty nice to have the DT piece for your pet also give you DT. So, uh, sure. Feet, PDL on the double attack piece. That's actually probably going to be pretty good for a lot of weapon skills, especially feet slot. I mean, you do have access to Gledi on Beastmaster, but yeah, I expect this will be used for a lot of weapon skills as long as you have the attack to support. Which I mean, you can give yourself some crazy attack buffs on Beastmaster, so you can probably make it work. Um, And then the earring, they got another one of the 9 PDL earrings. And it's got the summon pet level +1. And then some axe skill. I mean, either the PDL or the summon pet level +1 would have been like crazy strong. Getting both of them and then some axe skill on top. Yeah, this is definitely one of the best earrings. Yeah, Beastmaster did pretty well here. Okay, next we have Corsair. Uh, Looking at the +1 set here, the body already has nice triple shot. It'd be nice if that were a little bit higher and you actually gave it proper stat line to go with it. So I expect we'll see that. Uh, the head can potentially be used for rapid shot. Of course, they each boost a specific role. I expect those boosts will probably remain the same. Uh, Maybe we'll get some extra duration on the hands. That'd be nice. The legs, that's a lot of store TP for the legs. Especially if they gave this some DT, you'd have a really nice TP piece, both for shooting and for meleeing. So, especially if you give it accuracy and attack and range accuracy and range attack. So, I I see some potential there. The feat. So the quick draw plus 25 applies a debuff on the enemy where the next time someone uses that element in the next 10 seconds, I think, uh it does 25% more damage. So that's really strong, and you want to take advantage of that. The problem is these feet have no MAB, so you're nerfing your quick draw damage to do it right now. Give these feet some MAB, maybe boost that buff up some more, and these will be really good. Okay, and here's what we got. So the head got some DT and a little bit more rapid shot. I mean, if you need to use them as a rapid shot piece, then sure. The body, I'm assuming that is a typo. Uh, that's almost certainly triple shot, not triple attack. Uh, I suppose I should take a second in case you're not familiar. Uh, Anytime a piece has triple shot plus or double shot plus, it only affects when those abilities are also active. So it's not like something you're going to be shooting in all the time. Just when triple shot is active, you get a bunch more triple shot. So that's how that works. The hands, we did indeed get 5 more phantom roll duration. Nice. And oh, they gave him the weapon skill damage. I think these actually have enough agility. Uh, you're probably going to be using these for most of your physical ranged weapon skills. Yeah, no MABs, so only for the physical. But no, that's nice. Having a solid weapon skill piece that's different from just Nyame. And of course, once you get to +3, it'll actually be like a significant boost. Legs, 11 store TP, 11 DT perfect. Magic evasion's a bit on the low end, but uh, this will certainly be a good option for TPing in. I believe that's more store TP than Malignance, and you've got a mountain of DT. It does suffer in the magic evasion department a bit, but it's not like super terrible there. So, I mean, there will be situations where you'll rather be in Malignance for the magic evasion, but this is certainly worth considering. And the feat, 45 MAB, nice. Uh, there are feet with higher MAB, so you'll still be sacrificing a little bit of damage to get this quick draw bonus, but the quick draw bonus is now 28% instead of 25%. But I think at this point it's close enough in damage that you can probably just use this for your quick draws and not worry too much about, well, sometimes I could do a little bit more damage, but then I don't have the debuff. And I mean, you can optimize to do that, but I think a lot of times you'll be safe to just use these feet because it's not costing you much, and that's a really nice buff when you can take advantage of it. And the earring is a joke. Okay. Sorry about the earring, guys. But I mean, the rest of your pieces are, for the most part, decent. I mean, I'm seeing use cases for what, 4 of them, all but the head and the earring. So that's decent. I mean, Corsair was fine, so they didn't really need more. Okay, next we have Dancer. Uh, the head is already crazy strong for climatics. Give it some extra accuracy and attack. Also of note, the store TP already matches Malignance, so wouldn't take much for this to be a very solid TP piece as well. The body, please get rid of the dual wield. Dancer does not want dual wield. Dancer would like some gear with some minus dual wield on it. That's what Dancer would like. The hands, I mean, you could make some kind of a weapon skill piece out of this. The problem is, Dancer has a ton of skill chain bonus as well. From traits, I think they get 31% from traits and gifts, and the traits and gifts actually count towards the gear cap of 50%, so they can only use 19% from gears. So uh, with Nyame, they're usually hitting the cap already. So we can't value skill chain bonus that highly on Dancer just because you run into the cap so quickly. The legs, I don't know, maybe make it like a tanky piece. You got tactical parry on there. Once in a while, dancers will try to tank things. So the feet. So the feather step bonus that uh, increases the well, it applies a debuff that increases the rate of crits of everyone attacking your targets. So any boost there would be pretty good. And again, much like the head, you've got already store TP plus 10. Uh, so you can definitely see this becoming better than Malignance potentially in terms of TP gain. Uh, let's see what they gave it. They put weapon skill damage on the head. That's wow. So there is a problem here, however. The problem here is that when you climatic Rudras, you're already probably doing cap damage, and the weapon skill damage isn't going to help you any. I know, really rough problem to have. The thing is, though, uh, this actually has pretty high dex and agility. Uh, you're probably using it for weapon skill damage even without climatics. And restore TP plus 9, that's higher than Malignance. You've got really high accuracy and attack. Uh, the magic evasion is definitely lacking, and obviously no DT. But for like a glass cannon build, I think you TP in this as well. Wow, it's quite a piece. Body, it still has dual wield. They gave it some DT, sure. Moving on. Hands, they gave it DT. A little bit more reverse flourish. I mean, you'll still be using it for reverse flourish. Whatever. Legs. Okay, they put PDL on the legs. But again, you're competing with Gletty. No other really useful stats for TPing. I mean, so both this and one of the ninja pieces says critical parry instead of tactical parry. I assume it's a typo or mistranslation, but they did it twice, so I'm a little hesitant about what's going on there. Anyways, I mean, we'll have to run through the stat line. I mean, neither this nor the Gletties have any dexterity, so I'm leaning towards, probably. I don't see this as very likely to be used a lot. Maybe there's some specific weapon skills that'll want this, but certainly not Rudra's. Moving on to the feet, up to 11 store TP on feet, and they gave it DT. Magic evasion's still kind of low. Still, though, I mean, this is going to be really nice option for TPing in. It'll be better for TP gain than Malignance, but you lose the magic evasion. If you're fighting something that'll stun you a lot, the magic evasion might be better. So, I mean, there's some choices to be made there, but these are pretty good. Oh, and the earring. Another 9 PDL earring. Amazing. I did already mention skill chain bonus cap is kind of an issue. Still, nice to have skill chain bonus on an earring. You're going to be probably weapon skilling in. And if you're weapon skilling in the head from this set, you're probably, I mean, you're going to be capping out your skill chain bonus almost certainly, because this earring plus what, like 2 or 3 pieces of Nyame will cap you out. But I mean, that's fine. And then over time, as other better weapon skill pieces come in, you'll be taking more advantage of the skill chain bonus here. Still, though, Dancer did really well here. You got some amazing damage pieces. Magic evasion, I think, is honestly probably the biggest problem with this set. Okay, next we have Ninja. Uh, get dual wield off of that head. Make the double attack no longer conditional on being behind the mob and having in and up. Uh, so the Megawari bonus on the body, there's, I mean, it's not really a problem, but it's kind of a problem. Uh, which I guess now most of us would understand is basically the problem of false positives. Um, the way this works is as we increase in skill, and then if you equip this body, uh, it decreases the threshold at which Migawari will activate. And the problem is, I only really want Migawari activating when it's something that's going to kill me, because when it activates, it removes Migawari, and if it's still on cooldown, now you've created a window where it might use a powerful move again and kill me. So I only really want it to activate when I need it to activate to save me. And so continuing to lower that threshold down like below 50% isn't so helpful to me. Um, so, I mean, it can be a useful body. Obviously, if your HP is, you know, below, where even that lower threshold will kill you, maybe you'll want to use this. But uh, in general, you got a good healer. You don't necessarily need this body, especially now that we have master levels, which have already lowered the threshold quite a bit here. Uh, the hands, uh, please just give us some MAB on these. Uh, the Fute bonus is really strong. Elemental ninjutsu damage plus 14. That's effectively 14 MAB, but only for ninjutsu. Just give us some normal MAB and make these a solid set of hands. The Fute bonus is strong enough that we still use these regardless, but yeah, just please give us some MAB. The legs, uh, there has been some talk about the crazy counter build for Ninja. I'm not really a believer in it, uh, specifically because normal counters happen after shadows, um, and if I really want to go full counter build, I'll just pull out my monk. Like, I don't know why I really need to do that on Ninja. I mean, I guess maybe you're fighting something that you can counter and attacks too fast for you to keep your shadows up, but also has a special attack that you want to have Migawari for. Yeah, like we can engineer some scenarios, sure, but it doesn't seem like a common scenario to me. Anyways, I could see a solid tanking legs here with the counter might be interesting. Uh, the feet, of course, are our Utsusemi +1 piece. Uh, they could improve the Utsusemi, I suppose. Uh, I mean, they could really go anywhere with those. So, anyways, let's see what they gave us. So they decided to keep the dual wield on the head. They boosted the double attack, but it's still conditional with the in. And 9 DT. See, they could have had this head with non-conditional double attack, have removed the dual wield, and it probably still wouldn't be good enough to really see much use. But at this stage, no, that I'm not using that. The body, even higher Megawari plus. Not really sold on that. They did give it 12 DT, which is a lot. Then you got critical hit rate. Okay. The hands, no MAB, but they did give it some magic burst damage, so it's not a complete loss. And 2 more elemental ninjutsu damage. Uh, 2 more Fute again. I mean, you'll probably still continue to use this for Fute, but nothing else. Okay, the legs. They did give the legs DT, uh, which will go nicely with trying to do some kind of counter build with them. Um, How good that build will be, I don't know, but yeah, at least it's coming together, I guess. The feet, weapon skill damage. Okay. And we'll have to look at the exact stat lines for the different weapon skills, but yeah, maybe it'll be used for weapon skills. If not now, at least for +3 it will be. There's no MAB on this, so it's not for hybrids. Still only one semi. And here, yeah, here's the other piece where they did critical parry instead of tactical parry. Um, Again, I'm assuming that's just a typo that they did twice, but maybe it's something different. I don't know. Earring. Yes, they did get a 9 PDL earring. Ninja definitely needed that. And 12 katana and 12 throwing skill to go with it. Sure, that's a reasonable way to do things. Uh, Now, but by doing it this way and not just giving them attack or accuracy or something, they don't want us doing niggling ninja, I think. Uh, but they don't always get what they want. Uh, so there's ninja. Mostly disappointing, but they got a good earring at least. And I mean, the Fute hands are better than they were. Okay, next we have Paladin. The Probably the strangest one of these pieces, the body. As I recall, it's what 2.3 to 10.5% DT1, uh, based on how much enmity you have. That's really unreliable and not great, especially when ads spawn and stuff. You don't already have enmity on them. Uh, are you just gonna count it as being 2.3 DT all the time? That's really weak for a body. So I'm hoping they just give it like straight up like 11 DT and call it a day. Get rid of that nonsense. Other than that, I mean, you do use the feet for Divine Emblem, and some of these pieces have some decent plus enmity on them, so maybe we can do something with that. Of course, it's hard because you've got Sakpada as a defensive set to compete with here. So you'll need a lot of magic evasion to compete with that. Paladin already has pretty good sets all around. So let's see what they gave him. Okay, so the head got a little bit more fast cast and they gave it DT. Um so Paladin has access to much higher fast cast pieces, but this would be fast cast with DT, so maybe if you're trying to cap out your DT in your fast cast set, you could try to do something like this. Also, of course, you can use fast cast for uh, recast time reduction. DT in a mid cast set's a bit more valuable. You also have shield skill on here, so I mean, you've got some reasonable stats, but it doesn't really stick out to me as anything special. The body still has the stupid variable DT. They did give it 15 spell interruption rate down. That's pretty good. It may change some of my spell interruption rate sets. Might end up using that. Especially if it gets even more at the +3. And you've got +14 enmity on here as well, so it's not a bad piece to be using in your midcast set for a lot of your spells. I mean, the DT on it still sucks, but there's some use cases I could see around the spell interruption rate, so there's that at least. They gave DT to the hands and increased the shield defense bonus. Shield defense bonus is not good. The way it works, phalanx is just so much better. Shield defense bonus doesn't end up doing much. Yeah, I don't think you'll be using the hands. Legs. I mean, it's a high amount of DT, and you've got the enmity retention. Still, though, the magic evasion is not as high as some of your other options. I mean, maybe you would use it for something, especially if you don't do Odyssey. I mean, I could see using these. Um, the feet. So, I mean, you can get a higher enmity feat than these, but they put 10 fast cast on these, which is pretty good. And I think you can also get higher fast cast in these, but to get them together like this, uh, it can actually help with your recast reduction a lot. So, I could see using this for like your enmity set, perhaps for like flash and other spells that you're doing for enmity because it's getting your recast reduction. Um, and of course, the divine emblem is better than before, so that's nice. The earring. Okay, yeah, that's a nice set of stats to put together at least. Shield skill, of course, improves your shield block rate, which means you won't get interrupted as much. So that you can get your cures off with your cure potency plus 12. That's a lot of cure potency. Um, I mean, Paladin can already pretty easily cap their cure potency 1. So, uh, perhaps, though, this will open up some other slots to do uh, other things. Maybe put more enmity in their cure set or something. Yeah, no, I mean, that's a powerful amount of stats to put in that earring slot. So, uh, I'm sure once you've optimized around it, it'll be quite good. Okay, next we have Pup. My puppet is level 1. So I'm just gonna go with my gut on whether these are good or bad, and you can laugh at me in the comments. So just looking at these initial pieces, uh, obviously the head gives automaton TP bonus. That sounds like that would be a good thing. Uh, I don't know how important overload rate minus 40 is and whether that's good or not. If it's important, then good, you'll want it. If not, then who cares? Uh, Hands. Store TP plus 9 already on those. And you're giving the puppet a lot of melee stats. I mean, that sounds like a decent kind of hybrid TP piece. Maybe give it some more accuracy and attack for you and for your pet, and that'll probably be a good piece. So that's a good chance to get good. The legs. I did check for the Kenkan. You do not need any more martial arts for those. So unless the automaton skill plus is particularly valuable, I'm not expecting these legs to be very good. Although I mean there are other hand to hands puppets sometimes used. Maybe you haven't gotten your Kenkan yet, so they could be better in those cases. Because Kenkan can have especially low delay, which is why they don't need many martial arts. And then the feet. I don't know what tactical switch is. But the pet gets a bunch of like magic stats, which in my experience the magic pet puppets tend to be the worst. So yeah, well let's see what they gave you guys. Okay, the head, higher TP bonus for the automaton, plus a whole bunch of accuracy for the automaton. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's probably good. Then for the master, now 4 double attack with 7 PDL. PDL, quite good for hand-to-hand weapon skills. Puppet may struggle to have the attack to support it, but if you can find that attack, I think this is probably a pretty good head for you. Well, on the other hand, you're on the Mapaka set, aren't you? So for weapon skills, you'll probably be using Mapaka and get the TP bonus for stuff. Well, it depends which weapon skill you're using. So yeah, no, it'll get some use probably at least. The body. Again, I don't know if the overload rate matters for you or not. If it does, well, you got some more DT now, so great. If it doesn't, then you're probably not using this body. Hands, a bit more store TP. I mean, it's still less than Malignance, but they also gave you DT with it and further boosted the automaton. So, yeah, I think this kind of worked out as sort of a piece that for when you want both you and your pet to be doing damage, this might be a good option. Um, the legs still has the martial arts, so if you're using Kan, I don't think you're interested in this. If you're using some other hand with a larger delay, you may be. Although, even then, you need a lot of martial arts for it to really do much for you. So, I don't know. You do have even more skill for the automaton, so I don't know how helpful that is or not, but could be helpful. And of course, like all these pieces, it gives the automaton more accuracy as well. So there's that. The feet, they put weapon skill damage on the feet. Again, weapon skill damage not a good stat for hand to hand. I don't know what tactical switch is. Yeah, I mean, probably not great feat. Earring, hand skill, nice skill to have. Subtle blow, cool. Automaton level +1. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be good for you. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like the head's probably good, the earring's probably good, and the hands probably have some use. And I don't really have a good way of measuring the rest. Good luck, puppets. Okay, Rune Fencer. The head, of course, is nice for casting, so maybe give it more casting stuff. The body, maybe if it had some DT, I could see it being useful with both the enmity retention and the converting damage to MP. The hands, yeah, I don't know what they would do with the hands. As I understand it, the resistance to status ailments is like halved against NMs usually, so they would need a lot for that to really be useful. The legs have a good chance of being good. You've got Incartata on there, which is just increases your parry rate, and it doesn't get like floored by high skill enemies or anything. So that's quite good. And you've got some DT on him already, and pretty good enmity. So give him some better stats, boost those up a bit. Those legs will probably be good. The feet are some of the highest enmity feet you have available as well. And the resist all elements is actually really, really strong, especially in conjunction with high magic evasion. So hopefully they'll give the set good magic evasion. And then I expect these feet will probably be pretty good. Okay, and here's what we got. So the head, 5 more enhancing magic duration. Great. 15 spell interruption write down. Awesome. And they increase the refresh potency, another one. I don't think I could have asked for anything more on this headpiece. It's awesome. Great. You're just going to be using it for casting things, but it's really good for that. So that's what you want to see. The body, they put 10 fast cast. Now, you already have a 10 fast cast body. I mean, I guess this probably has a little bit more magic evasion, and maybe some of the other defensive stats are a little bit better on this, but that's not really what you're looking for. The hands, 1 more resistance all status ailments, which probably gets rounded down to being the same when it gets halved, so that's not doing much for you. 10 DT. It's kind of nice, but yeah, I'm not sold on those. Okay, the legs. So only 1 more Incartata. That's a little disappointing, but the magic evasion is what, 3 less than Niame. That's great. Uh, Enmity plus 12 with 12 DT. So I mean, I feel like one of the problems for Rune Fence right now is it doesn't idle in enough plus Enmity, and I think you just use these now instead of Niame for the legs, and that's pretty awesome. Um, yeah, yeah. I think this is now just what you use for tanking on Rune Fencers. You use these legs. Okay, now the feet. Now 30 resist all elements. Also just 3 shorter. Yeah, so magic evasion is great, and with the resist all elements, you're basically ahead of where you were in terms of resisting things. Um, you've got another enmity on them. 10 DT. Yeah, I think you're tanking in the legs and the feet from here. Instead of Niame now. The HP is a bit lower. But with master levels now, I think you'll be fine. I mean, I think the rest of these stats are just enough nicer that you'll prefer this most of the time at least. Okay, and then the earring, magic evasion, and regen effects received. So what you do, right, is you get this earring, and you get the SU5, and you get a scholar, and then when the scholar goes to regen you put those all on, and you just get like insane high regen, right? And then no one has to heal you ever. I mean, it's fun. Of course, also you've got the new, what is it? The belt, the Schroda uh waist item uh with the regen potency as well. So you can also just cast regen on yourself and have it be pretty potent now as well. Um, or a white mage's regen you can boost up quite a bit. Yeah, I mean it's an interesting direction to go. Um, it is kind of a pain to organize switching in your regen gear when the person's gonna cast regen on you, but I mean it can be done. Uh, but I mean I'm not too disappointed with the earring. It still does some cool things for you, and uh, the legs and feet and the head were also good for Rune Fencer here. I think Rune Fencer did fine. Okay, and so that's the last job. Finished all 22 jobs, Empyrean plus 2 gear. Thanks for those who stayed with me through all this. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time. I'll probably do a video shortly after Sortie releases, and try to break down what we know about it relatively quickly. Uh, Depending how far off we are, a month or two down the line, maybe I'll do a second one, a bit more detailed. But that's what I'm looking at. Well, that, and I'm probably going to do a video highlighting Black Mage next week. I have some interesting strategies planned.